Hello, everybody. So this is
Hello.
our video, our second video of our Insurance in Florida series. Today, we're going to talk about a very important subject, which is Obamacare. Especially this month, we have an important deadline for Obamacare that we're going to talk about very shortly. But first, I'd like to introduce my friend, Michael Gonzalez. Michael is a good friend of mine. I've been working with him and his family for over 12 years now, and it is a pleasure to work with them. They're very knowledgeable, very honest family, and actually, your company uh, is having an important anniversary these days, right?
33 years, 33
33 years
years
in business.
last
So
week. So
oh,
it was
that's great.
nice. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, so
Thank
that's
you.
that's
Appreciate
great.
it.
So that speaks a lot about the business that or the company that they've put together and that it continues to succeed in the market. So before we go further, Michael is a executive key accounts manager and a managing partner for National Marketing Group Services. He has worked for them since 2005, and he has over 15 years of experience working in the healthcare and insurance industry. So he's our expert, and that's the reason why
15
you were
years.
invited to this video. So as I told you, we just want to educate our clients or people that are watching the video on different subjects, and the subject of the day will be Obamacare. It's an important, very important subject for especially for people in South Florida. We have a lot of members that are enrolled in Obamacare plans, or at least in plans through the marketplace. So we just wanted to clarify a few things that are still not very clear. So let's just dive right into it. I guess to start with, Michael, what is exactly Obamacare? What's the definition for Obamacare?
Yeah. So Obamacare is basically, the unofficial name of the Affordable Care Act, also known as healthcare.gov, where individuals can go to healthcare.gov and purchase affordable health insurance from many different insurance companies, and in most cases get a tax subsidy from the government that helps them pay for those uh, affordable coverages. They can select from different plans, and usually it's for people with incomes between 100 and 400% of the Florida poverty level or federal poverty level.
Right, exactly. So I guess, when people hear about Obamacare, they don't really understand what it is. But Obamacare, like you said, is the unofficial name for the affordable health care or for the marketplace. So a lot of
Correct.
people are enrolled in plans through the marketplace, not necessarily are part of Obamacare, or not necessarily they're getting any subsidies or any tax credits from the government. But the marketplace is just a platform where
Yeah,
private companies go there. I mean, they go there and they list their different plans, and then
correct.
people just go there and enroll in the plan that best meets their needs, right?
Correct. Exactly. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty seamless. You go on there, create a username and password, enter your information, and it kind of guides you in a step-by-step process of how to enroll.
Can anybody just go into the marketplace and enroll in a plan?
Technically, if you're offered coverage by your employer, you cannot get a healthcare .gov plan. You can you technically, if it's affordable, that it's offered by your employer, it's affordable and it meets minimum essential coverage, you need to take that plan from your employer. Otherwise, you can go on the marketplace and look for a plan. And if you are within that 100 to 400% federal poverty level, you can get a substantial subsidy based on your age. And in 2021, they actually raised the cap. So the cap for the 400% is raised. So even if you make more now, you can still qualify for a subsidy.
Okay.
Yeah,
So many people think that maybe because they make good money, they don't qualify for any tax credit, but they might. I mean, they might not get
they
a
might,
lot,
they
but
might,
they
yeah.
might get some.
In 2021, because of the American Rescue Act, that cap was raised. So I would urge people to, contact a consultant, an agent, someone like us to help them navigate that space because there are more people that qualify now.
Okay. Why would someone go and enroll in an Obamacare plan? What are the pros and cons of Obamacare, or of getting a plan through the marketplace?
Well, we talked about the tax subsidies. So getting assistance to help pay for health insurance premiums is a huge benefit. But the other big thing is that it's guaranteed issued. So if you have pre-existing conditions, that's not going to be a problem. You can go on there, you can still enroll. And that's a huge benefit because you're not going to be penalized for having a pre-existing condition.
No questions asked. Everybody has to be
That's
admitted as
correct.
long as they meet the requirements.
Yeah, as long as you meet the requirements. I think you have to have a social security number. You can have, I think, certain visas. You do have to provide some documentation in order to qualify. But other than that, if you meet those standards, pre-existing conditions, no medical conditions are a problem. You can enroll in those plans.
I think many people didn't know this, but some people still think that if you don't have an employer health plan, that you basically don't have any options to cover your if you have a pre-existing condition, there is no way to get other coverage. But that's, like you said, that's not the case. Ever since Obamacare or the
Absolutely.
Affordable Care Act was
Absolutely.
implemented, that's another option. So that could replace something like Cobra. That was the
Correct.
option for those people that left their employment and had
Yeah.
no other choice for health insurance, right?
Yeah, and today in this world that we're in, Cobra premiums are so high that it does warrant going to the healthcare.gov to at least see, based on your income, based on your age, based on your family, if you do qualify, because you'll be surprised, especially in 2021, a lot more people, a lot more households are qualifying for those subsidies.
Are those plans comprehensive? I mean, do they cover? I know when you say, people say, does it cover everything? So what's everything? What do they cover?
So the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, they set aside what's called minimum essential coverage. Basically, are a set of 8 guidelines that you have to follow, that insurance plans have to follow, and they have to meet those guidelines. All Obamacare plans meet the minimum essential coverage requirements. So all of these plans are comprehensive. Some plans are going to have higher deductibles. They're going to have higher copays. Some are going to be richer with lower deductibles, lower copays. So depending on the plan you want, depending on your needs as an individual, your healthcare needs as an individual, depending on the provider network you're looking for, if you're looking for a bigger provider network, smaller provider network, that's all going to determine the premium, how much you're going to pay, how much you're going to get from the government. So again, that's why you always need someone, an agent consultant, to kind of navigate through those waters, because a younger, healthier individual is not going to need, a $500 deductible with a 100% co-insurance plan. There's someone who doesn't go to the doctor that much. They're not in the emergency room often. They don't take prescriptions. So it might benefit them to take a higher deductible plan that costs less.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I usually get asked this question. So what is the best Obamacare plan? And I mean,
good question.
I guess the answer is it depends. And you
it
have to
depend.
find out, okay, what are your needs? What are you looking for?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
a plan that's good for someone with a pre-existing condition might not be the best plan for someone that is absolutely healthy, that only needs maybe catastrophic coverage, right?
100%. And it also depends on where you live, because some insurance companies have stronger networks in certain areas. So, I mean, if you have to generalize, I would probably say the Blue Cross Blue Options plans are the richest with the biggest provider networks. But in general, I would say, or to be specific, I would say it does depend on your certain situation, where you live, your conditions, your age, your family, what their needs are. So it does take a little bit of narrowing down on that end.
Yeah, usually what I do is when I get asked, okay, what is the best plan for me? I always ask, okay, do you have any doctors that you definitely need to have?
Absolutely.
That you
right.
definitely need to
right.
see, because that's the best way to start, is to find out what plans that doctor is part of their network.
Absolutely.
So that way we can, start from there and see what plans they take. And then based on that, at least we know the doctor is already in the network. So
Correct.
let's find out what is the best plan according to your budget or according
Correct.
to your prescription drugs that you take or whatever. But that would be a good point to start.
No, that's a great idea, is always check to see if your doctors are covered. That's where you want to start. In terms of hospitals and stuff like that, a lot of the times these carriers will, for the most part, should cover a good amount of hospitals, but your physicians is where you kind of want to start that search in, to make sure that they're covered on that plan. And by there, you can kind of go narrowing down the carriers, because you'll find that some insurance companies are a little bit more narrow in the physicians that they cover.
Absolutely. And I guess that the price of the plan, it also depends on the kind of, or the size of the network of the plan. So the bigger the network, the higher the price. Normally that's how it works, right?
100%, 100%. A blue options plan with a huge nationwide network is going to be more expensive than one of your, an Ambetter or a Molina plan that has a little more focused network. So it's always you're always gonna pay a little more premium for that.
Other than that, why are the premiums, if we're looking at the same plan, why may the premiums be different if you take it or if I take it?
Well, it depends on our age. That's going to be one of the factors. It depends on whether you or I smoke. It depends on our zip code, so where we live, and also it's going to depend on our income.
Right.
So, Mauricio, obviously, you make so much more than I do. You're gonna, pay a little bit more than I am because my premiums, I'm gonna get a little more assistance from the government. So it just depends on all those different factors. And as you go enrolling in the healthcare.gov, you'll be able to see, as you put in your information, it'll start narrowing down those factors for you.
Other than the income, another important aspect is the number of household members. Because if you're single,
absolutely,
you're making $100,000, then
that's correct.
Take that into consideration. But if you are married with 6 kids and making $100,000, that makes a huge difference, right?
Absolutely, you're going to get more tax credits if your household size is larger. Absolutely.
There you go. Okay, perfect. All right. So when can people apply for coverage with the marketplace or through Obamacare?
Typically speaking, there's an open enrollment period that usually starts November 1st to December 15th. Kind of changes every year. It's a little bit fluid in that sense. For 2021, because of COVID and the emergency response, President Biden did open up a special enrollment period. I think it is from April 1st to August 15th. So it's actually ending pretty soon. But it is a special enrollment period where people can go and enroll, even though it's not the official annual open enrollment.
Right. So I guess that's I wanted to emphasize that because that deadline is coming up August 15th, yes, like you said. So that was a very special event. The previous years, you only had from November 1st that's to correct. December 15th. But then due to COVID and the act, the American Recovery Act that was signed by Biden, that period was extended.
Correct.
And now, if you don't have a plan, then you have until August 15th to enroll in a plan for the rest of that will cover you for the rest of this year of 2021. Sure. If you don't do it, then you don't have any more chances for the year. The next chance will be to enroll in November or December, correct, or maybe
January 1st.
January 1st, right? So this is the last chance that everybody has. And not only to enroll in a new plan, but also to make changes. So let's say that you're not happy with your plan, or even if you're happy with your plan, but you never updated your application in April, for the first 3 months of the year, you were paying X amount, but because of the extension of the credits, you might be paying a lot less because the credits or the I guess the income ranges were extended, and therefore they were getting more tax credits, so the premium could actually be lower, right? So that's
so for example, if you're making $50,000 and you applied last year at open enrollment and you got X subsidy, let's say it was $200 worth of subsidy, you can go on to healthcare.gov now, log into your account, reapply, and you'll essentially be your tax subsidy will increase because of that raised cap. So it could go from 200 to 250, 300, whatever. You have to go in there and log in to see how it applies specifically to you. I would also like to mention that there's what's called a special enrollment period throughout the year. If you lose coverage through an employer or through some other means, that does actually qualify you to enroll in the marketplace or healthcare.gov.
Right. So there are some life circumstances that will
qualifying events, correct,
give you access to a special open enrollment.
Correct.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good point.
So those things are usually, loss of coverage through an employer, divorce where you lost coverage, any sort of life qualifying event that would trigger you to be able to go on to healthcare.gov and enroll as a new.
Yeah, maybe some kids they had Medicaid, or they had Florida Kid Care and their
Correct.
coverage was canceled. So at that point, it is when they lose the coverage, they do have that special enrollment period to include them into the parents' coverage, correct?
Exactly.
All right, excellent. All right, so I think, this is very, very simple information. This is Obamacare 101. I guess to wrap it up is, and I guess this is very important, and I want to touch on this specifically because many clients don't know this, is why would you do this, or why would you work with an insurance agent rather than going at it by yourself, than doing it by yourself on directly on healthcare.gov, for example?
Well, like we talked about before, there are a lot of different plans, a lot of different insurance companies with a lot of different factors that you have to consider. I always kind of give the analogy, you wouldn't go out to sea, if you have no boating experience, you wouldn't go out to sea without a captain. I would kind of apply that to here in that I wouldn't go selecting an insurance plan that governs your healthcare without speaking to an expert, without consulting with someone who knows the ins and outs of all the different types of insurance companies, the benefit plans, what providers they have in their network. They can help you navigate, help you search for providers like we talked about before, and help you pick a plan that best fits your needs. Like we said before, if you're a healthy young individual, maybe it doesn't make sense to get a low deductible plan that's super rich and high premium. Maybe it makes more sense to take a higher deductible plan, less premium, and as you go getting older, maybe you start developing more health conditions, then you can go ahead and change plans on a yearly basis. But basically, that's really why you want to go with a broker, agent, a consultant, someone who can guide you and help you navigate, pick the plan that best fits your needs.
Does it make a difference in price if you go with an agent or
Absolutely
if you go
not.
straight to healthcare.gov?
It is the same exact price.
Same exact
That's
price.
the beauty.
Why would you go at it alone if you can use the expertise of or the knowledge of an expert?
Yeah.
If it's going to cost you the same thing? I mean,
Exactly.
there is no reason, right?
There's literally zero price difference. So
there you go. Okay, very good, excellent. All right, so I think this has been a great conversation. Is there anything you'd like to add, or anything that we think we've missed that would be important for clients or viewers that we need to add?
No, I think we covered pretty much all of it. The only thing I would say is just reiterate that the special enrollment period does end August 15th. So, speak to your agent, consultant, ask somebody if they know an agent or a broker that they can trust. If you don't have coverage, do that before August 15th. If not, your next chance won't be until November 1st. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And also that the caps were raised. So if you are someone who makes good money and thinks maybe I don't qualify, consider it. Go ahead, see if you qualify, speak to one of us, and we can kind of guide you through that process.
Okay, excellent, Michael. Michael, thanks as always. Been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
Thanks for helping me educate the clients and the people out there in South Florida. So I guess we'll talk again soon. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Stay safe.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.